Welcome to our tutorial of ProfLearn YouTube channel. In this particular video, we're going to have a discussion on how you can be able to find the y dx of these particular functions. And once we are done on how to work that out, we're going to find the percentage change in y if x increases by 2%, whereby we're going to leave our answer in the form px minus q. Before we go into it, if you're new to ProfLearn YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to upload another tutorial, you'll be notified. In ProfLearn YouTube channel, I do maths and physics, A levels, AS, as well as IGCSE for both Excel and Cambridge. So let's dive in so that we can be able to get to see. Now, in this particular question that we have here, because whenever you are trying to differentiate functions, you need to check which is the best technique you're going to apply in order to work it out. And in this case, you can see here, we are having two functions which are divided. So meaning we are going to use quotient rule. And in that case, quotient rule is a function, a formula we can use here, because we can say now dy dx is going to be equals to v du dx minus u dv dx divided by v squared. So this is the formula we're going to use in this case in order to work out this particular question. Now, before we do it, we need to decide which one is going to be our u and which one is going to be our v. In this case, we can decide the top function to be our u, and this function that we have at this point here is going to be our v. So we can be able to say now that our u is going to be 2e is to 3x plus 1, and our v is going to be 5x squared. Now, since we need to substitute into this equation, we need to find du dx. Anytime you are differentiating an exponential function, what you need to do is that you need to differentiate the top, then you multiply it in front of the exponent. So in this case, differentiating the top, we are going to get 3 times 2, that's going to be 6. E is to 3x plus 1, and dv dx here, we are going to get dv dx is going to become 10x, like that, right? So the next thing we're going to do now is to substitute into the function, and this is going to be dy dx is going to be v, but our v is 5x squared times du dx, but du dx is 6e is to 3x plus 1 minus our u is 2e is to 3x plus 1, then times dv dx, which is equal to 10x, yeah, like that. Then all this is divided by 5x squared raised to power 2, because of this part we have here. So which means that this equation that we have here can be written as 30x squared e is to 3x plus 1 minus this is going to be 20x e is to 3x plus 1, and down here we are going to have our equation as 25x power 4. So let me subdivide this so that we can be able to have quite enough space to work out this question. You can see now in our question here, we are told we leave our answer in this particular format. So meaning we are going to say, therefore, our dy dx is going to be equals to what? We can factor out, we can be able to factor out 10 here, right? So we can factor out 10x, and e is to 3x plus 1. So this is going to be 10x, e is to 3x plus 1. In bracket, we are going to remain with what? We are going to remain with, because we have factored 10 out here, we are going to remain with 3x inside the bracket minus 2. Then down here, we are going to have 25x power 4. And you can see now what is going to happen is that 5 will be twice here, 5 will be 5 times, right? And this x will cancel with one of this, and we're going to remain with 3 here. So our final equation is going to be 2 is to 3x plus 1 into 3x minus 2 divided by 5x power 3. Now this becomes the equation or the gradient function. This becomes our dy, our dx that we were supposed to get for this particular question, because you can see we have obtained it in the form that was expected, in the form that was required. Anytime you are doing a question for further pure math, remember to leave your answer in the form that is expected so that you can be able to earn all the marks. Now, if x increases by 2%, the percentage, we need to find the percentage change in y. So we need to say b, a small change in x in this case, because this increases by 2%. What will be the small change in x? Small change in x will be x times 2 over 100, because it increased by 2%. So what will be that small change due to this percentage? Now our small change in x is going to be 0.02 x. That is the small change in x. And anytime you are dealing with percentage change of variables, something that you need to remember is that dy dx is approximately equal to the small change in y over small change in x. So which means that this equation, we can be able to rewrite it and say small change in y is going to be dy dx times small change in x. So if you are working out the small change in y, you need to use dy dx, then you multiply the small change in y that we have gotten at this particular point. So we are going to move here, but remember this change in y over change in x is whatever we have at this point. And we need also to agree that percentage change in y is going to be equals to small change in y over y times 100, because we are trying to work out the percentage change in y, and the percentage change in y, so therefore the percentage change in y is going to be small change in y over y times 100. But what is the small change in y? Small change in y is dy dx times the small change in x. So you need to follow those steps the way I'm instructing you. So let us now work out this, because we are working out percentage change in y. We are going to use dy dx. We can start by finding what is the small change in y. We can just substitute here. Small change in y is going to be, small change in y is going to be dy dx, but dy dx is this, so this is going to be 2 e is to 3x plus 1 into 3x minus 2 over 5x cubed times delta small change in x, and small change in x is this part that we have here, which we got from the 2%, because we were talking about increase in x is going to be 2%, and that increase in x is going to be, small increase in x is going to be x times the percentage, but in decimal. That's why we did it that way. So times small change in x, which is going to be 0.02x, let me just write this properly, 0.02x. Now that is the change in, small change in y. If we try to simplify this, it's going to reduce to, because we are having this here, it's going to be 1x will cancel with this, so we are going to have 0.04x. I'm just multiplying this part to this part. E is to 3x plus 1 into 3x minus 2 divided by 5x power 3. That is the small change in y. Now, in order to find the percentage change in y, it's going to be small change in y over y times 100%. So meaning that I can be able to write it here, percentage change in y is going to be 0.04x. E is to 3x plus 1 into 3x minus 2, which is this part, representing the small change in x. So small change, small change, this part that I've written here is the small change in y over y. But remember, our y was this part here, 2e is to 3x plus 1 over 5x squared. So this is going to be 2e is to 3x plus 1 over 5x squared, and then times 100. To get rid of this fraction here, I'm going to multiply by 5x squared times 5x squared. So in that case, you can see this part and this part will cancel out. This part and this will cancel out, but we are remaining with 1x because this is x squared. But that x that has remained there is going to cancel with this x that is at this given point. So we are going to have our equation reducing to 0.04. This one 0.04. E is to 3x plus 1 divided by 2. E is to 3x plus 1, 10 times 100%, times 100. You see, this cancelled, we remained with this part that we have here and this part we have at the top. And remember, and also 3x minus 2 at that point, then times 100. So that if we cancel also this part and this part that we have, we are going to have 100 times this is going to be 4, and that 4 here we are going to have 0.02, and times 100 we shall cancel 2 zeros. Then we shall have our final answer as 2 into 3x minus 2. which means that finally our equation is going to be in this form that we were told here, which is going to be 6x minus 4 as the percentage change in 1. If you have gotten value from this particular video, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to do another tutorial, you'll be notified. See you in the next video.